Hello. Today is March 18th, 2024, here on the eastern coast of the United States. It is a beautiful day outside. But I'm planning to throw a wrench into that. I want to make today not beautiful by shocking you and hopefully launching you into pessimism. Just kidding. I actually think that while the subject material of today can sort of render one feeling hopeless or not filled with very much optimism, I think that it can, and it should sort of urge us to alter our sort of preconceptions. So, if you've watched any of the journals, you might know that I'm reading Chomsky right now, which is very, very difficult. And the book, What Kind of Creatures Are We? It's been very difficult, and I'm not a linguistic. I've never really even educated myself in linguistics. But the point of interest that Chomsky brings up through talking about language is that there are mysteries for humans. Human cognition is limited, in Chomsky's opinion, based off the fact that when you try to answer the question, what are we capable of knowing, there are some things that we will just flat out never know. I guess with an asterisk, potentially allowing for the afterlife to answer us more questions, but what are we capable of knowing while we're here on Earth and alive, I guess, would be the more specific and sort of airtight way to ask the question, so that you don't have theists knocking on your door. There's someone that's about to walk past me right now. Okay, they went the other direction. I was getting a little nervous. But yeah, I think we go throughout our lives and our day-to-day kind of under the impression that we can find out so many things. We can find out why we act a certain way, why we like certain people. We can find out why rain falls. We can find out why giraffes are tall, all those sorts of things. But when it comes to some trickier questions, like how do we come to know things? How do we know for certain? What is language? Sometimes it might be best to just chalk it up to mysteries. Humans do have a tendency to try and come up with these theories, and while some of them have worked, like natural selection allowing for us to answer what makes giraffes tall, I think Chomsky's influenced by Hume. He's bringing Hume up. It's hard to read, it really is, so I'm not sure if he's a proponent or an opponent of Hume, but it seems that Chomsky ushers in this idea of new Mysterians. Obviously, Hume was pretty skeptical about what we can come to know, and his answer to that was a lot of the things that we think we know are just psychological conditioning. Sorry, it's just rattling my brain, but I decided to take a look at some people that object to Chomsky and this idea that there can even be mysteries for humans, that human cognition actually isn't closed. It's an article called Demystifying Mysteries, funnily enough. And they talk about representational access to reality. What access do humans do to allow for a scientific description about reality? And they argue that over time it's pretty plain and simple that science has led us further and further to understanding our world more and more. And then they argue that imaginative understanding is limitless as well. I guess in the sense that you can think of anything, but But I would argue, and here's one of my objections to the Objectors, is that you can't imagine a world where 2 + 2 = 5 and it's true, right? Because there are mathematical universal truths, and universal in the sense of every single possible instance of reality. So if you believe in like the multiverse, even 2 + 2 would equal 4. But perhaps it's just a mystery for humanity. And I don't even know if Chomsky would agree with me here. I'm also kind of just, spitballing, but perhaps it's just a mystery for human to imagine a world where mathematical truths are different. Perhaps some other being, they would scoff at it. They would be like, you think that mathematical truths are universal? Well, boy, you actually believe in the wrong set of mathematical truths. So yeah, there's that. And this article tries to argue that metaphors and analogies have advanced our understanding. We make analogies to describe things that we don't really understand, and then they can in turn make us understand them. I would just argue that, and it's semantics, but I would argue that it just brings about a little bit of a further coherence to some things we have a difficulty grasping. It doesn't necessarily mean that we can know them, like quantum field theory, I guess. I'm trying to pick something that's super complex and 0.3% of the world understands, probably less. Which way do particles move? Are you a spin theorist? All that sort of thing. I'm not even going to act like I know. But I just think that mysteries for humans are real. I think there are limits to what we can know. And of course I decided to read this Chomsky book while I'm in an epistemology class. It was not consciously. It's completely ironic and coincidental that it happened. But I don't know, I don't really think that we even have a good system for how we think we are justified in believing things, let alone knowing them. I would just offer you to take a look at foundationalism. If there's anyone from my class watching, hello. So yeah, I just think it gives us hope that we can try and shift. Not that I'm an enemy of science, but try and shift from asking scientific questions that don't, humans, we want to know things so that we can apply the knowledge. But I just want to be able to reorient ourselves to asking questions about humanity. And I guess it's a bit more practical, but asking questions like, how do we make the human life the best? And if that's a mystery for humanity, then fair enough, but hopefully you see what I'm saying. I think we should be grateful that we have this problem, the mysteries for humans. We should be grateful that we exist because, we're not slugs or anything like that. And we have the ability to recognize that there are some things we just might not ever really find out. And from there, shift our focus. Realize that while we're here, we should just do our best. I don't know. Am I juvenile for saying that? Perhaps, but I don't know. Let me know what you think. Today's been pretty solid so far. It's just been class. I'm going to go rock climbing later. Maybe the gym. And it'll be close. See if I have energy for that. And then, later this week, I'm going to Denver to visit my friend. So I'm excited for that. And then spring break will have started. So, let me know if you have any thoughts, and again, there's someone walking past me. They're gone now. Oh boy. Yeah. Happy Mud Day. Peace and love.